Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tam Talks. This is where we share our experiences and unpack what we have to offer. Okay, it's getting better, people, you must admit, from the last time. Anyway, meet my friend Tiffany. Tiffany is a good friend of mine. She's been a friend of mine for about 17 years, we figured out.
Yeah, that's about it.
And she's also my Bowen therapist. So if you don't know what that is, I'm going to explain. I'm actually going to read a definition because I didn't want to get it wrong. But just so you know, I found her many moons ago. I guess back in the day, I would have been diagnosed with frozen shoulder, and that wasn't a thing back then, right? Like frozen shoulder wasn't a thing 17 years ago, but it's very common now.
It sure is.
So when I had this ailment, I was a young mom. I had 2 small children at the time, and I was told that I wouldn't be able to carry them. I wouldn't be able to put a purse on my right side. I wouldn't be able to golf. Like it was just, and I'm going, I'm not even 40. Like this is not happening. I'm not going to settle for that.
I didn't have time for it.
I did not have time for that. So somehow I landed with Tiffany. I don't even know how, to be honest. But I gave a call, and I could choose between her and her sister, and I chose her for no reason other than I like the name Tiffany, and I went for it, and I never looked back. So I think it was about 2 or 3 sessions. By about 3 sessions, I was pretty much pain-free.
Yeah.
And then we kind of went into maintenance. I mean, there's always work to do, right? You're running around, you're picking up kids, you're throwing out shit. Like it's
golfing.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That was later, but golfing with your back.
Well, golfing was not my friend for a little while there. Anyway, here's a good definition about Bowen therapy if you've not heard about this before. Bowen therapy is a form of body work. It involves gently stretching the fascia and soft tissue that cover all your muscles and organs to promote pain relief. Specifically, this form of therapy uses precise and gentle rolling hand movements. So it's like seriously benign, right? You don't really feel like you're, and I'm used to like the elbow from the massage therapist and the from the chiropractor.
It's like little flippy, gentle moves leaving the room.
Exactly.
Very weird.
Then, yeah. Very weird. She does a flippy little gentle move. She leaves the room. I personally slide into a coma, and then she comes back in and does another one, and this goes on for about an hour. So these motions focus on the muscles, tendons, and ligaments, along with the fascia and skin around them. The idea is to reduce pain by stimulating the nervous system. So it actually puts everything right again. Right? When you're in pain, I think that you energetically, you pull one side out and the other, and this kind of centers it all down the center of your spine, and you start to feel amazing. So it's really non-invasive therapy that relieves pain very quickly. So generally speaking, as I said, I was healed and heading on to maintenance after 3 or 4 visits. Obviously, with such great results with Bowen and massage, that became my go-to whenever I had an ailment. That and actual therapy too, to figure out the mind-body connection, but that's just what I do. I always like to know if the shoulder's going out, where are the emotions behind that, blah, blah, blah. But this just helps to take care of the pain aspect of it and push you forward. So this is Tiffany Bourque. Say hello, Tiffany.
Hello.
She is the Bowen therapist extraordinaire, my friend, and most recently an expat living in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Who's back home for a visit. She sold it all and moved herself and her daughter how many years ago? 3?
2.
2.
Almost
2 years
2
ago.
this month. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll have my anniversary
like
of 2 in Canada.
Feels like a long
it does feel like
ago.
a lot in 2 years.
Okay, so tell the world, what the heck? What drove you to sell it all to go to a tropical paradise? Besides the rough Canadian winters, of course.
They were definitely a factor. We were looking at land in Costa Rica anyway, and it's absolutely beautiful there. COVID was a big factor because it shut our business down 3 times.
Right.
And I think everyone went a little bit crazy during COVID too.
Oh, we certainly did.
Yeah, so I started to just...
I think people are still crazy.
Oh, I think people are crazy too. I think
it
just there was some extra crazy going on during COVID. No one knew what they were doing. And I think it made me anyway sort of reevaluate what was important in my life. I'd gone through a lot of changes where I didn't feel like I had as much keeping me here, pulling me back here, keeping me back here. My sister and I looked at this beautiful lot that we stood on probably 3-4 years ago now, and I just stood there and went, yeah, I could have my tea here every morning.
Really?
And that was it. And then we started...
That's so brave to me.
The process. It was pretty, brave, crazy, a little bit of both, I think. Yeah. I mean, when I look back at it now, I kind of have just landed and realized, holy crap, look what I've just done.
Yeah, no kidding. Because I think that is incredibly brave. I mean, I have a partner that would love to pick up and just go away, and I am not in that mind frame. I don't know that I could do it. And also, Like, what about the landscape and the animals and the bugs and all that sort of thing? Is that an issue?
I like bugs. I'm one of those
Okay.
freaky weird
So,
girls that likes bugs.
Freak. Just
Spiders.
saying.
I'm not a big snake fan, however.
Are there lots of snakes?
I've seen two. One was a boa constrictor, and it was 6.5 feet long. And it was at a friend's house, and the other one was in my daughter's bedroom.
No.
I was actually saying goodbye to a Bowen client, and my phone started ringing, and I'm thinking, you're downstairs, and I'm up here, and you're freaking calling me. Like, just get up, walk up the stairs. And she goes, Mom, I need you. And I came down, and there was this coral snake, which I didn't know what it was. They're very small, but they're deadly, apparently.
Oh
so
my
I pulled
God.
on
Okay,
my
so you know
rubber
what?
boots, and I had a tank top and shorts on. I got salad tongs and a Rubbermaid jug, and I relocated the little bugger.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we found out after that it's one of the most deadly snakes. So
wow.
that wasn't my favorite.
Tiffany, the crocodile hunter.
It wasn't my favorite moment, but
no, that would not be good for Tam.
I went in just panic mode a little bit and just did what I had to do, because even though she was 24, it was my kid.
Oh, I know. No,
Anyway,
you're not.
yeah.
You know, I know. I've talked about that with a mutual friend, Sue. She had gone to Costa Rica and was talking about moving there, and she goes, "I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure that I could do the bugs and the snakes and the blah and the animals, scorpions." Okay, like
I mean, I don't like scorpions.
Yeah.
It's not like I want to see a scorpion, but I've seen quite a few, and I keep my doors open all day long, and I keep my bedroom doors open.
But when you sleep,
all night long.
Okay, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah,
I'll meet you
I
at the
have stick bugs this big on the wall, and I just go in and go, oh, that's cool. Yeah. Praying mantises, like everything there is just bigger.
Okay.
Tarantulas.
5-star Barbie, right here.
I was a camper.
Yeah, I was never. So that is not happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's brave. She's wild. She's running free in Costa Rica. Biggest change you've discovered in yourself since you left?
I'm not scared of things like I used to be. I had a lot of anxiety and hang-ups, and I still have weird particular things about me. My friends hear me saying this, that like I'm very particular, and but yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah. Like things the way I like them. But I've overcome lots of fears.
Is that like an OCD thing, do you think?
Yes, most definitely.
So you can't be OCD when you're in would you call it a jungle?
Yeah, I would call it the jungle.
Oh my
God.
God.
Rainforest, jungle, we're in the mountains. So yeah. But yeah, it would be overcoming fear. Well, I mean, look what I've just done.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
Oh
but
my
I was
God,
scared of
insane.
heights, and I did zip lining, and I did upside down zip line, like just trying to prove to myself.
I did that too. Afraid of heights.
It doesn't make sense to do upside. You just see up. You don't see down. You just see
did
sky.
zip lining, and I cried the entire time.
Oh, I loved it.
But it was really overcome. Like I didn't mind it. I did it. I'll never do it again. But I did it.
I've done it many times. And I
know.
It's either your thing or it's not. ATVing for me wasn't super fun because my thumb was going numb, but lining I liked it.
I know
very much.
someone that can help you with that.
Yeah, right.
Just so you know. Now you left. You left behind your sister and your parents and your son who was in school, right?
Yep.
And took your daughter who was how old at the time?
22.
Another
22.
brave move.
Yeah. We decided we're doing it. My son is still in university, and there's talk that, well, he comes back and forth all the time.
I see that.
He's addicted to Costa Rica. And yeah, I'm hoping that when he's done school, he might come and figure out what he's doing next while being in Costa Rica.
So I know that Racquel, your daughter, has really found her way. She found kind of her voice, right?
Most definitely.
Like
she didn't fit in here, Racquel.
No,
didn't fit in here.
I mean, it's a hard Instagram, social media world here.
Yep.
And Racquel did not fit in, but she has really found her voice there. And I've heard her on podcasts, and she's just doing fantastic.
She has, and she's dyslexic. So that was a big, huge challenge. I guess fear that she's overcome doing that as well. Yeah. When I heard her, I was just like, can't believe this is my kid, because she's not I always spoke for her when she was little, and she was kind of shy. Yeah. So her doing that podcast and speaking about dyslexia and overcoming it, I was pretty proud mom.
She is, and rightly so.
Pretty proud mom.
Proud mom too.
Yeah.
She overcame body stuff. She
lost 95 pounds.
She lost 95 pounds.
So that journey started before Costa Rica, but it definitely.
I think I'm going to go to Costa Rica. I think out of fear, I could lose a good 50. Yeah, that would be perfect.
Just lining every day.
I just won't eat because I'll be sitting in a corner going like, "There's a bug! Close the windows, you freak!" Oh well, Jesus. Yeah. Anyway,
I think you do start to embrace them. My close friend was just down with me. She flew back to Canada with me, and she doesn't like bugs at all. But she wasn't freaking out as much. She'd be like, there's a bug there, whereas before she would have been running away and screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you do adjust to them, but I mean, if you don't like bugs, it might not be
No.
the place for.
No, I
you.
have a pest control service.
Okay, yeah.
So
I am the pest control service.
Yeah. I don't know. I hire someone. I did that a long time ago when I got divorced. I thought there's someone I can hire to do blue jobs. Like they will come and look after mice. They will take a raccoon out of your
Sure
attic,
will.
that sort of thing.
Yep.
So I thought, yeah, I'm all over it. I was living in a much larger house. It was like $700 a year, and I'm thinking, done and done. About it.
Maybe I should have been in the pest control business.
Exactly. You could have made some extra money there. So you're back. What's that experience like coming back?
A little bit of an energy shift for sure.
Yeah.
I had to go into Mapleview Mall the other day and do an Apple store, and I kind of did oh my God, there's just so many people here.
Yeah.
So I'm in the mountains.
It is very peoply.
It's very peoply and full of electronics and wiry energy.
But even the overall vibe of our town is now very peoply. Like getting anywhere, you have to plan everything. I mean, we've talked about this before here, that even to get east to west is insane.
It can take 40 minutes.
North to south can be insane. Like all the arteries are crowded for a lot of the time.
And my daily drive is usually down a mountain. I could pass 40 cows on the way and a cowboy on his horse. Hola. And then
like
I come back up the mountain.
A nice looking cowboy?
Not necessarily.
No.
Like just an older cowboy man that has a whole bunch of cows, and he waves every time. Yeah. So you don't pass many people.
What town are you in?
San Mateo.
San Mateo. So let me ask you this, because last night we were watching The Blue Zone. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, it's a show on Netflix, and it talks about the blue zones all over the world. Where
that kind of blue zone. I thought it was a TV show called The Blue Zone.
No.
Yep.
It's the centenarians that are all over the world, and there's a place in Costa Rica called the Nicoya.
Yes.
Do you know of that?
No. Well, I know of it, but I haven't been there.
So that is like there's 6 times more centenarians there. And the people have a biological age 10 years younger than their actual age. And when you said the guy on horseback, this is why I'm thinking about it, because they show this man who's 100 years old and he's moving cattle every morning at 4 a.m.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, it's that work ethic, that consistent work ethic, right? So, okay, so here's a question. You can do bow in there.
Yeah.
And your practice is...
I do.
You do?
I do.
She said do. So you... your practice is growing?
Slowly. I'm in a community where there's like 25 people living there right now. So,
and 25 people being like expats, or are there Costa
expats?
Ricans?
I would say from all over the world.
Okay.
Americans, Canadians, Austrians, Germans. Yeah, lots of people. But the community is gonna be probably 500 people at some point. But everyone's just building right now.
Right.
So we were the first house built.
Yeah.
It fixes things, so people tell people.
Yeah,
and
of
referrals,
course, it's all word by mouth.
But again, with 25 people, how many things do you have? Once you fix a thing, then they're good, and they tell someone else.
Well, they're on the mountain, so one would think that they would either fall down or, one can hope it's really good for business. All those rocks and things. Yeah. Oh, hilarious.
No, so I am doing treatments there. I have treatment rooms there, and I do
treatment rooms in your house?
A separate little building,
like a cabana, or
2 treatment rooms, bathroom, and then a little
nice
home gym, which could be a waiting room area, I guess, but I use it as a home gym. Well, not that much, but I will one day.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Exactly.
No, I'm familiar. I've got a home gym downstairs too.
Yeah, it was a really good idea. It will happen. It's been a busy time.
Your sister's eventually going to move there too.
Yes.
So you have sister homes, literally.
Yep.
With a joint.
The reverse homes. With a pool, outdoor
courtyard.
It is a courtyard.
Is that going to be too much? Sisters?
This will be the 3rd time we've lived beside each other, and we've worked together for like 20 years. So
I love my sisters, but living beside them, no bueno.
Yeah, no, I think it's been pretty good.
You guys have had a business together too.
Yep.
For all this time.
Yep.
So the Bowen practice was something that they shared together. So
and the spa,
and the spa,
Yeah, so we're very different, but and we're pretty good at saying, I want to do this. I don't feel like people today, or we don't have to do everything together all the time. So, but we'll see.
So I'm thinking too that when you come back here, you're probably more invested in your relationships, like that with your mom and your dad, and because they're still alive. And I mean, that's a hard thing to leave.
It was a lot harder than I thought it would be, because
Yeah.
it turns out I'm like a mommy's and daddy's girl more
Yeah.
than I thought I was. I thought
Right.
I'd be all right.
Yeah.
I think it was 6 weeks when I first moved there, took everything, moved out of the house. Closing date was in 2 days. My real estate agent handled it for me. And within 6 weeks, I was back in Canada.
Oh, really?
Because I miss my mom and
miss-
dad so
Well,
much.
I get
And
that.
my son.
Oh, of
Colton.
course.
But it gets
Of course.
easier each time. And I think I've grown from that and realized that I needed to grow up a little bit, maybe.
Well, there's some distance that's
Yeah.
required. I mean, I don't know your relationship with your parents. I know my relationship with my mother was codependent at one point, and then I had a spell where we just kind of separated, and the relationship looked a ton different. But you know, we were still in the same town.
Yeah.
But a different result, I think, probably.
Yeah, we're a very close family. We moved from England when I was 9, and so it was just the 4 of us. We didn't
Right.
have other family anywhere. I mean, we had people that we called auntie, but they weren't.
Right.
So yeah, we're a pretty close family. We've always lived close to each other, and yeah, I thought it would be easier than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you had some pretty dark days there, right?
Yeah.
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 I would think too.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some tough times that I've gone through. We've had
So
some stuff happen.
do you have any? Are there dating apps there?
I don't know. I haven't tried a dating app. I would imagine so.
Do you get out? Like, are you meeting people? Much of a
Yeah.
social life?
Well, I've just moved to the mountains like 8-9 months ago, I think it is now. Before that, I was on the beach and by the
Yeah.
beach area. So
Yeah.
lots more people there. So I've made friends in that area that I still keep in touch with.
And how far away is that from your home?
About an hour.
Okay.
I feel like going
So
to
not
Niagara
too
Falls or driving to Toronto for the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-mm.
So
With
you
some
can
cows.
stay in, with lots of
Throw some
cows,
cows in.
maybe a couple snakes,
Yeah.
scorpion. You know, don't see that in Niagara Falls.
No,
very
you don't.
often.
No.
No.
I mean the wax museum.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, it's about that distance. But yeah, no, I've made some really good friends, some American friends,
Yeah.
and which is interesting because Americans and Canadians are very different, and we think we're not. But we talk
Right.
about things, and what are you even talking about? Yeah, so that's neat. And then I've got some Costa Rican friends that I've made too that have been extremely helpful. They're some of the most kind people I've ever met,
Yeah.
but they'll give you the shirt off their back. Yeah, I've made some really close friends there, Costa
Nice.
Rican people. Yeah.
So touching back to this whole blue zone thing, one of the things, if I could summarize it, what I learned last night was that lots of movement. People take a step back and have a simpler approach to life, which I think you can check that box, right?
I'd say it's like going 30 or 40 years back in time.
Right.
You don't see people walking around staring at their phones. They
No.
smile at each other and say hello.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really
well, you know what? I live in Tammyland and I still do that.
Yes.
Just so you know.
Yeah, there are certain people
There are
that do it.
people
I always
here.
do it here, and
Yeah,
but there's
I
just
know.
more people.
Some people give you the stink eye, like,
Yep.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
And why are you talking to me?
It was in my bubble. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing was lots of movement, which and they touched on that. Like when you're living in a mountain community, to get to, if you're going to walk to a friend's house, you're either going up or you're going down.
Yep.
Right. So
Yep.
there's lots of movement, and that's something that you would check that box as
Definitely.
well. Because
Definitely.
yeah, you're in a mountain and you're running from snakes. So I'm sure that you probably
I
running.
walked calmly with the salad tongs. There was no running. I didn't want to drop him.
Oh my God.
But yeah, there's definitely more movement, and it's hot too. So while you're moving, you're also sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what
But
else?
depending
So,
where you are. I mean, the
Yeah.
beach areas are flat, but also still hot.
yeah.
Yeah, and everything probably takes twice as long there, I would say. I would always count in double the time for everything.
But that's good because it slows things down.
It does slow things
So
down.
you're not rushing, you're not hopping in your car and booting it across town or trying to get across town
Yep.
really quickly. You just kind of,
You just go with the flow.
you have
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Yep.
You have
And
to.
there's none of that like
And if there's cows crossing,
stress. You just
then
say
you
hi
just have
to
to
I
hi.
talk to them.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Exactly. How's it going? So then the other thing about the blue zone is faith and service.
Yep.
So obviously service, because that's what you've been doing for the last 20 years, if not longer.
Yep.
Right? Bowen is a service. It's helping people. And faith, I would imagine that you tap into something bigger than yourself on occasion. I'm not sure what that is, but you would have that.
I have
too.
definitely done that more being there. You feel a bit more connected to everything. Yeah, and I think I'm surrounded with people. The area that I live in is called the Machuca Valley, and it's there's still native tribes living in that area.
That's very cool.
So there's really cool, and I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to spout on and make stuff up. but there
Oh, no,
it's
do.
sort of magical. It's
Nobody
a magical
knows.
land.
I should go there. Okay.
No, there's some really good feels and vibes, and
So the energy
lots of
is
healers in the area.
Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of good energy
Yep.
and stuff like that. You would
Yeah.
feel that. And that would be good. That would also be good for Racquel.
Oh, totally.
Right? Like when you have that sort of stress in your life all the time, and then all of a sudden you're around a different type of energy. This is a very frenetic energy
Absolutely.
here a lot of the time. Like I know for myself personally that if I don't find 1 hour in my day to step away from my phone, just decompress, that I start to go squirrely.
Yeah.
Because everything's too fast. I think I've mentioned this before, but I feel I'm an empath, so I feel a lot of people's energy. So in the heart of COVID, I used to do shopping for my father-in-law because he was afraid to go out, and I would go for my mom and stuff like that. And I would go to Costco, and I'd have my mask on, keep my head down, have my list, do my thing. I would come home. I would literally have a hot dog, a big glass of wine, and I'd cry and then go to bed for an hour.
Oh.
Like I couldn't even handle it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. And I had no issue doing it because I was, younger and healthy. So it was not an issue, but just the energy of it all. So I can imagine what it would be like to be unplugged.
Yeah.
And in a kind of spiritual, native type of vibe.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'd say every night I've got this big TV. Every night I'm going to watch a movie or do some. I think I've turned the TV on 10 times in 10 months. The sound of cicadas in the background, or frogs or toads or whatever. It gets dark at 6, so you watch the sunsets.
Now, is that
at
all
like
the time?
5:30. Yeah, there's no daylight savings there, so which is kind of nice, but that throws me off coming back here too. So I'm 2 hours off right now. It's 2 hours earlier there.
Right.
Which will change, I guess, when the time changes again. But yeah, no,
So
it's dark at 6.
Sun up at what?
5:30.
Okay, so I mean,
Yep.
you're still. I mean, you're still getting a full day. It's
Oh yeah,
not like
absolutely.
You're in Alaska.
It's just when it's dark where we are, it's pitch dark. Like there's no.
And we don't
lights.
close the door at night.
I just I am not scared.
No
of bugs.
screens.
I have screens on my windows, just not on my big. Like they're very big sliding glass doors.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
I opted not to put screens in.
I'm working really hard to get past this.
Maybe if you come visit me, I'll put some screens in one day.
Yeah, come visit me. I'm sorry, I'm booked.
There is a system with the lighting, so I have figured out. Like if I'm going to sit outside on the patio, I have to turn I have light attracts bugs.
Right.
So I'm not trying to say, hey, come on in, welcome.
Right.
So we've got like a light system where we attract them one way so they're not bothering us in another way.
Okay.
But there are bugs that are in my house, and I have a little lizard that lives behind a piece of art in my bedroom. It's about this big, and they chirp. I don't know. They do like a chirp. I didn't even know what it was. Yeah, it's just different. I mean, it's just
good for you.
Whole different. It seems normal now, but yeah.
It takes many to make the world go round. Jesus.
I was that kid that brought home a tarantula when I was 16. And
where did you get a tarantula?
Oh, a friend wasn't allowed it. So I'm like, I'll take it. And then my mom found out. And that didn't last long. So
not me.
But now I'm living amongst them.
I used to kill spiders with Pledge.
Oh, and I don't like it when people kill spiders. I take them outside.
I would like to do that too, but I didn't.
Yeah. Lots of people kill them, and I'm not judging. Just I like spiders. So I will save them. And I've always done that.
Well, I try to, but sometimes if they're jumpy, they gotta go.
Yeah.
I don't like jumpy spiders.
Yeah.
Okay. Regrets. Any regrets?
Yeah, I guess there would be regrets on how much it impacted our family.
So when you say that, like your
leaving
mom,
people behind.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it kind of put everyone in shock. I don't honestly think that anyone really thought I was going to do it.
Well, it was brave.
It was brave, but I really don't think anyone took it seriously. Like it would really happen. It seemed like this pipe dream, and it all happened pretty quickly too.
So there must be, okay, you walked through this. You had gone through a divorce shortly before then, right? Like a few years before?
Yeah, within the last 4 years.
Because you just bought your house, and the next thing you knew, it was on sale or up for sale.
Yep, I sold my house within 9 months of moving into it. And that was not a plan at all. I filled the house.
Yeah.
I was on Facebook Market because that was during COVID. I was on Facebook Marketplace constantly, and my house was beautiful. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And then I sold it.
You just made the decision and went, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this. And that is just such an act of Well, that's an act of faith in its own, that you can throw yourself out there and just go, okay, you know what, I'm going to do this.
Well, I knew I was
It's gonna
with
work
my
out.
sister.
Oh, because she was supposed to come with you at the time, right?
Well, they were there. My sister and her husband were actually in Costa Rica, and that it was their plan. Like they started the idea, and they said, you know, we found this place that I think you'll like. You have to come and check it out. That where I said I'm not buying anywhere until I put my feet on the land, like literally stand on it. And I did, and then that was it. And I remember Amber saying, you know, you got to be sure. Like, are you sure? Because there's a lot hinging on this. And I said, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Do you feel like you might come back at some point, or do you think that this is it and you're going to just create your own little blue zone over there in Costa Rica?
It. Yeah? I mean, I will still come back a few times a year.
I would imagine.
And
I mean, I love having you back personally. It's been good for me.
Yeah. I've got a lot of clients that are happy that I come back. I'm seeing my parents and I'm seeing my son,
right,
and friends and all sorts of people, right?
For sure.
I mean, could I maybe doing 2 months back here at a time? Yeah, maybe.
Ooh.
But right now it's a month, and
you're here for a month.
Yeah,
a full month. Yeah, and you're checking all the boxes, right? You're seeing clients. You're spending time with your parents.
I got a wedding that I'm going to.
A wedding. We're going to a wedding on the same night, actually. How now? You had a dog. Let me ask you about that, because I'm kind of curious. Because I know that sometimes if you were to travel from Canada to England, you'd have to quarantine your dog for, I think it's like 6 months before you can take him. Nothing there. No. So how'd the dog do? Did it on the plane or under the plane?
No. So they changed the rules right before me going. So Molly is a golden doodle, and she was 6 months at the time.
And she had health issues.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she's had.
Okay, sorry, I'm bringing up.
No, she's had lots of issues, but she's awesome now. She had a pretty major surgery done right before we left. I think we moved 2 weeks after she came out of Guelph University.
Wow.
Vet center, and I was supposed to be taking a private charter plane, because there was no other way to get her there, because she was over 20 pounds. They can go in the cabin.
Okay.
Didn't want to put her on the belly of the plane. And then it was Thanksgiving Day. I found out that there weren't enough people for this flight, and it was canceled. And I went into like full on panic mode.
Of course.
I think I had, everyone coming over for Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm freaking out. And Racquel, my daughter, said, "Mom, just try Air Canada just call them one more time." Because I tried. And I called, and the guy said, "Yeah, there's one spot left." And I said, "Well, the biggest thing is I need to bring my dog too." And he goes, "Oh, there's only 2 per airplane?"
So in the cabin?
No.
Oh, underneath.
Underneath. It was my only option.
Okay.
So he said, "I don't know what happened. Someone must have canceled," because I had called in 2 weeks before.
Nothing was
3 weeks before. There's nothing. And there was one spot available. So it was kind of like, la la la, it's meant to be.
Meant to be. You're being supported in
but
your
I will
decision.
Never. So I had to get her, all the shots and everything, the paperwork filled in by the vet.
Right.
I had to take it to, I don't remember what it was called, but it's basically the Canadian government's livestock.
Oh, okay.
Making sure that the animal that you're bringing in, whether it's for food or consumption or for a pet, they had to sign off on all that within 2 weeks of going. And then we got to the airport. I got her in this big crate. And I will never, ever, ever forget them wheeling her away on this trolley, and her just looking at me like, "What are we doing? Like, where are you going?"
You didn't drug her?
I drugged her. I should have drugged me.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
I gave her like a small portion of the medication that the doctor had said, if you want to do it. And I hadn't quite decided, but when I saw what was happening and how quick it was all happening at the airport, I gave her a little bit of it.
You took the other.
I should have popped the other half. I should have, because I'm sitting on the airplane and there's turbulence, and I'm thinking about poor Molly under there, not knowing what the heck's going on.
Yeah.
The guy beside me's got his little dog and he's petting it, and I'm like, I don't want to see.
Yeah.
How can you get your dog on here?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was really hard. And then when I got to the other end, I went to the baggage carousel, and I'm thinking there's going to be a separate desk. Office, something where I go pick up hi, I'm Molly's mom.
Yeah.
No, there's just Molly in her crate with a sign that says Molly, and all these people going, "Oh, she's so cute." And she saw me, and her tail started going crazy, and the crate was shaking.
Oh no.
And it's got zip ties on it, and I'm trying to get someone to get scissors, but I didn't know how to say it in Spanish.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I'm trying to cut her out of this crate, but and so.
But she survived.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a little jumpy after. But then we took her to the beach, and she
ran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her your beach pictures.
She's a happy dog.
Yeah, well, that's a happy happy story.
Yeah.
A happy ever after.
Yeah.
Because that would be something that I would have to consider too.
Yeah.
Even just taking my dog anywhere, because I couldn't. I mean, she's 45 pounds. I would love to think that she could be on a plane, but I don't think she could.
Unless
No.
it's private, they don't allow you to do
there you
it.
go. Goals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
goals.
we got $22,000 or so. Apparently, is what it goes for now.
Yeah,
So
well, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
We'll work on that.
But
next
they do
time.
have services. There's one called Pet Lounge, and I haven't used them, but I have friends that have used them. And so your dog goes on an airplane. They do all of the paper. They do everything for you. I think it's $2,000 or $3,000.
Okay.
But your dog goes ahead of you.
So these are people that are moving there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or traveling with them. I mean, there's some people that do travel back and forth with their dogs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got the money.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I think I've got all my questions done. I asked you, did I ask you if you miss your old life?
I know, you didn't. You said regrets.
Yeah. No regrets. Do you miss any part of your old life? Like, I mean, obviously friends and family and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do miss, I think I've got a good balance of it though, because I'm coming back and being able to live my old life. I really I've had you in for treatments. I've had a lot of people in for treatments, and because it's clients that I have been treating for a long time, which I say friends almost.
Yeah.
It's like a family. It's been like a big family reunion.
Yeah.
And I'm working.
Yeah.
Really good job to have.
I know. I actually, when I was lying there, I was thinking, wow, this is like the best of both worlds.
It is.
It is for
Yeah,
you. Because you love where you're at. You love what you do.
I love helping people feel better.
In service. So you
Yep.
might be starting a Blue Zone. I'm telling you, you need to watch it.
All right.
If you ever turn on that TV in Costa Rica.
Yeah, one day I will.
If you take out a Netflix subscription, I'll even let you tap into mine.
I've got one. I just don't put it on.
We binged it in one night. I think it's only like 4 episodes, but it's very interesting because it is. It's cool. And I think you're checking all the boxes of what needs to happen. So that's inspiring to me. I'm trying to do it here. So when I watch that show, I'm thinking, I mean, I make jokes about living in Tammyland all the time, right? I don't get too invested in a lot of things that other people get invested in. I'm invested in you. I'm invested in my kids and my family, community service, whatever I can do. But the back noise, I don't get. Like, I'm not sitting there watching CNN. I'm not watching.
Me neither.
You know, it's not a thing for me. So I feel like I've got my own little Blue Zone, but it's probably in this office.
Wherever it is, whatever works for you, it doesn't really matter.
But yeah, it's interesting. So I think you're very brave.
Well, yeah, I think brave is one thing. I think it's a little bit crazy.
It is
courageous.
Sure.
But I did it.
You did it.
If I can do, I mean, I did it on my own. Like,
I know
the house design and like, I mean, it's a lot.
But and even the stuff that you're passing on to your kids. I mean, we always want our kids to, you know, walk through those fears. And like, I'm probably not the person to talk to about that. I mean, doing this is a fear for you. And me. We discussed this.
Yeah.
No, but this is a fear for me. And when my kids are creative, so I say, you know what, if you're going to do it, then go out and do it. And they started doing it. And then I'm thinking, well, you're still sitting on your stuff. You're not doing it. So that I guess to me is my courageous output.
Yeah.
So, but you are showing your children what it's like to unpack. And how long's the flight?
Just over 5 hours.
Okay, so
5 hours and 5 minutes if you go direct. No, it is a cool thing. I've got a picture that Colton gave me. It's a picture of me years ago. Funny enough, with mountains in the background. But he wrote on the back just saying, "Mom, I'm so proud of you. You make me feel like I can do anything I set my mind to. And I'm so happy to see our new house in Costa Rica." And I have it in my walk-in closet and my little Colton shrine.
I'm going to say mic drop right there.
It's beautiful.
And I think that we can, well done, Colton. Good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. And Racquel, you're a good girl.
Yeah.
And you're a good mom. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's out of the box, but you did it. And
it was good.
I think it's a good story to share.
Yeah, I think so too.
And we will reconnect and see if you're still happy when you come back next time. Part 2. All right. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this channel, please subscribe below. Shall we, I guess linking to your Bowen website's not really helpful to anybody,
Probably not really.
But you know what we could do? We could link to Racquel's video on dyslexia, like that would, or her podcast.
Yeah.
I think I probably still have that. And I will. I'll put it in because it's really good. And she's just so articulate, and she's like, I mean, people are doing podcasts all the time. So why listen to something, especially if dyslexia or body image or any part of not feeling confident is in your wheelhouse, which is pretty much everybody, then you know what? Take a look. Anyway, that's it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.